So today is Christmas Day 2021, and I wanted to walk you through some of the issues that are going on with my Instagram account, which I've had since 2018. And I was a late arriver. I was not one of the pioneers of Instagram by any means, and I still to this day have never had an iPhone or a smartphone. So I just use a simple ZT flip phone. I've been taking the pictures and I send it to myself and I upload it via Safari. And I've done this for 4,812 photos on Instagram, which is probably a lot. And I do not think I violated any of the terms. I was not someone who had a million followers by any means. I posted my music stuff. I had like 300 followers, 310, and I was following 100 something. And I was pretty much just keeping to myself and posting my selfies and trying to use appropriate hashtags and linking to some of the music and stuff I do, and not doing any sort of intentional violations by any means in terms of no nudity, no harm, no bullying, and no impersonation. I did post recently I remixed an Adele song with my music, which millions of other people did, and I posted Adele remix. And also, I did post a song. There was a diss track of Logan Paul, who's the YouTuber boxer who the only reason I posted that song though is because and it was all just in jest and good fun, and I'm sure he can handle it. I hope he didn't report that, but it was just because he had posted the song about the football player Antonio Brown, and his was a total diss track, so he's able to post that and I'm not. You know what I mean? But it's just, to me, it's like there's obviously a bias, there's inconsistencies. What's going on with Instagram, the platform where everyone's nude, like, you know what I mean? Everyone's violating their terms, and I didn't do any of that stuff. So there's inconsistencies with their enforcement, and I honestly don't know why. My concern is, if so I got hacked, obviously, is the big concern, because just the way it all went down, it was strange. I got this thing. Obviously, I got to verify my phone number, and then now also they're trying to get my billing information from my phone to prove that it's me, to give me a copy of the data, and that stuff is just, I've got a copy of that email, and I did the picture with the code numerous times, and all of that stuff. It's just really adding to the frustration. But then it's leading to me to the conclusion that this is like such some big phishing scheme run by Adam Mosseri and big tech, where they do this. They're trying to get a bunch of people to buy Facebook or meta ads to try to talk to a real person, because no one is manning the center where they check on the codes and the pictures, but they're getting all that biometric when everyone takes the picture, you know what I mean, with the code and the number. They're getting the facial recognition, but then they're also trying to get your ID. They're trying to get your phone number. They're trying to get all this stuff. They want you on WhatsApp. They want you on Facebook Meta Business. 1,000 people get their accounts deactivated, and they all get a business account and try to take an ad out so that they can talk to a Facebook Live person, which is something that potentially could be happening. They all spend $5-7 on an ad. Well, that's $7,000 just like that. Wham! Million. How many people are on Instagram that any time Instagram can just do that? 7,000 accounts deactivate, and when they deactivate 7,000 accounts, they can basically coerce these people to try to get an ad to talk to someone in the live chat, which doesn't seem to be working. But when they do that, they would effectively be able to generate tons of revenue like that, and then get people hooked into their ads and into their but they get the credit card information too on Facebook. So again, this concept of biometric harvesting, and there's been other lawsuits against Meta, against Instagram, against Facebook, all the same company basically at this point, in Illinois and in California, and they have settled these lawsuits for billions and millions and trillions of dollars, or attempted to. So clearly there is an issue here that is larger than my account. I glance on Twitter or something like that, or other hashtags, or even on YouTube, millions, maybe not millions, but there are tons and tons of people who are running into the same problem that I have, and tons of people don't know why their accounts are getting disabled. So this is not something where, like, me as an individual, you know what I mean, I can't think of the one thing. It's not like I posted a photo. I see Paige Hathaway and her boyfriend posting a photo, and the guy's completely like naked and he's holding something where his balls are. That's allowed, but whatever I supposedly did is not. And why is that? So it goes back to not any sort of a fair and balanced reading of the terms that they have, or their guidelines. It goes back to automation, to their AI, and or just the opinion of someone working there, and the opinion of someone working there who might just not like me for whatever reason. It might be biased and prejudiced, and which is obviously, this is very problematic. It leads to opening them to liability. Are they discriminating against certain people? And they're, we're operating our platform, it's a free service, blah blah blah. But then why are you harvesting all the biometrics? There's nothing in your free service anywhere that that says people need to take a picture with a code and send it to you again and again, you don't reply. If you're not going to do anything with the pictures with the codes, then you need to basically not be requesting that information. I think they could request an identification card, like an ID, which is what the security people at Menlo Park told me that they could do. But if they're trying to get all these different pictures with holding the code, and then they're not saying, this isn't going to work. They're not saying anything, so they're just not even responding. So it's like it's an unmanned center, unmanned thing. It's just an automated thing asking people to do this. But so I think that's really problematic, and you try to plead the case, but is it just going to a bot or something like that? You can't get to a real person. If you get to a real person, there's a feeling that you could figure it out. Maybe it's just political. Maybe they don't like me because they think I lean conservative. I don't know. I think other people, bring up those types of issues in the YouTube, but I think really it's automation, and I think it's the AI is what is disabling so many accounts, and I think even the responses back from Instagram, or Facebook, all that stuff's automated too. So I don't think that there is a reasonable. I don't think it's reasonable to put people through this, because so many people have so much invested on Instagram with all of their photos, all their work, like the music, or people with business accounts, and just like it's something that is a very huge thing. There's all kinds of ad revenue on there for some people, not for me. Maybe I need to do that. But I'm not the one who has 1 million fake followers, but those people are allowed to stay on this platform, like Demi Rose, for instance. I like a picture of she has, Instagram model, and I get like 10 different bot followers following me, interacting with me. I don't complain about that. You know what I mean? But that's allowed. But me, with my individual real account, that's me, that's just me and my name, my literal name, I'm not allowed to have that account. But Demi Rose can have 1 million and then 20 fake bots anytime someone likes her post or comments on her thing. She's allowed that. And I'm not picking on Demi, because millions of other people like that too. Whether it's a Steve Cook, who's like a big fitness guy on YouTube, or you know what I mean, same thing. Yeah, I like one of his posts, all of a sudden some bot counts come over. I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm supportive of those people's work, and I'm not personally abusing I'm not personally using the platform like that. In other words, I don't have like a third party growth, automation trying to drive more people to my thing. But I honestly, I think that might be against the terms, but I'm not doing that. In other words, so my point I'm bringing up is that I am not the one who's violating these terms in the ways that, the nudity, the automation, the bots and stuff like that, which other accounts are doing, and they're being successful by violating the terms like that. And that stuff, which does violate the terms and guidelines very clearly, is prolific and allowed on this platform. But they're kicking out people, just the smaller people, the real people, based on petty things. So that there's a real they're being subjective, and they're being inconsistent, if that makes sense. And by doing that, they're discriminating, and they're operating with bias, which is infringing on people's rights for this free service. In other words, it can be argued, when I look on YouTube, I see minority after minority after minority on there, Asian, black people putting YouTube videos up about how, and also Latinos, and then also, about having their Instagram account disabled, and how they had to struggle to get it back. I don't see white, and I'm a white person, but, I think with the PETA and with the Iditarod and my objectives with my one dog race to try to make this big, adventure race that sort of reprograms back in the indigenous and the subsistence and the living off the land, and makes where the dog mushing sport in Alaska, period, it's become very much a Western development thing about money and about sponsors and about, commandeering the resources, and less about, being when I was originally back in the 1970s, those races, it was about commemorating the use of the dogs to live off the land in the villages and stuff like that. More of a survival thing. Now it's become more of a money and economic thing. So trying to bring it back to the roots is my goal with the race. Only one person, one human athlete, one dog athlete, and only the food that they could harvest themselves the year prior, thus sort of reprogramming in the hunting and the living off the land stuff, which is something across, nations and cultures and religions. And we can have that in common. And all of our resource struggles internationally and globally, all of our resource struggles that are wars and that are conflicts, everywhere for the resources, this sort of thing can alleviate that stuff. It can alleviate the distance between the person with the big fancy car who goes back and forth to the gym, and the guy who, is living in the podunk town and who goes and gets the deer, because that guy who's going to the gym, you know what I mean? He still eats. He's eating at McDonald's, or, he's eating at the grocery store, and he has to be retrained and reprogrammed to have something that's more of an equal challenge with that guy who's the one who's out there raising the beef, or who's out there hunting the deer, or who's, the people who are out gardening and that kind of thing. So it brings it all back. It's a bigger thing than just the dog mushing sport. But my point is, maybe the PETA people are all flagging my post because I hashtag Iditarod or something like that. So in a way, I'm like a minority. I'm someone who's coming at the platform, who's got maybe a different opinion, a different outlook, but who's coming at the platform. Am I getting discriminated against because of my perspective, my view, my take on things? You know what I mean? Which is a very real concern, because I don't think social media companies should be behaving like that. Why do I have to look at YouTube videos about disabled accounts and see so many minorities on there? You know what I mean? And I see Adam Mostry, I was following him. I don't think, personally, I don't have a hate for him. But there's a very real concern that these guys are just harvesting biometrics with this whole weird scam thing where they have to take the picture. Now, there's all kinds of lawsuits already against them for doing this. So when I come to this conclusion, it's not something that's unique by me. These guys are offering to settle these lawsuits. It's very strange, the big crypto thing. Why are we taking a picture with a number and no one's responding to it, and you have to do it 10 times before someone responds? 10, 20 times? That doesn't sound right. And then the people in the security at Menlo Park said, no, that doesn't sound right either. So, and that's nowhere written in any policy by Instagram that we signed either. So they're asking us to do these weird things, and then they're asking also for billing information for my phone. I try to explain to these people I don't have a smartphone, so it's not even structured like that. I'm paying $30 a month, and it doesn't go to the phone number. You know what I mean? And that's not because I'm trying to be evasive. It's because I'm a poor person, or I'm just a different generation who hasn't been raised on an iPhone. You know what I mean? So again, are you trying to say that, well, I'm not a good fit for your thing because I'm not posting a picture in tighty whitey underwear? You know what I mean? Like the boyfriend of Daisy Keech. You know what I mean? Logan Paul can diss Antonio Brown, but I can't diss Logan Paul. Everyone else can make a remix of Adele's song, Easy on Me. But when I make a remix, that's something that, and I tie it with Adele remix, that's something that's not acceptable. You know what I mean? So where does this leave us? Do we have to take legal action? We can appeal to these people on Twitter. You know what I mean? Do we have to put YouTube videos up? Do we have to keep hitting appeal? You know what I mean? Do we have to go into Menlo Park 5 times? No one's there. You know what I mean? So the frustration, I think, for myself and so many other users on this platform is justified. In other words, I don't think it's something where, this is a free service. Well, we put tons of work. We've got our own data, which is not your data, on your free service. We've requested a copy of it, and you're not giving. There's no engagement. We're sending the code with the picture. If you're not going to do anything when we send the code and the picture and reply anything, then don't ask for the code with the picture. You know what I mean? There's a social responsibility, a legal responsibility, and obligation if you have our data and our information, we're requesting it to give it to us, or at least to respond, and to, I think also to have an employee ID because of the prevalence of hackers, and the fact that it kind of looks like I got hacked. So, you know what I mean? I think other people had access to the account. It showed me following some people that I never followed before this went down. And I think I hit a link that was a phishing link or something like that. So, I really need the assistance to get back on my account to make sure that I can put some two-party security or whatever, some two-factor security on there, and to sort of protect myself and other people. I think there needs to be like a live chat option, and I sort of outlined this in a tweet, but I was like, why don't they if they're really alleging that people violated their community terms or whatever, why don't they simply take a minute and make like a multiple choice, like a course, like, if you violate a red light or an improper turn in so many states, you take a little course, like a driver's ed course online. It takes a couple hours, pay a little money, maybe $20-$30, not much more for a driver's course, but not for Instagram. I'm not recommending more than that. And sort of educate the user about your expectations for your terms or guidelines, but it would also hold them accountable, where it would force them to actually prove that their alleged violations were real violations. Because right now it's all automated. They're automated. They're the ones who are the bots and behaving like bots and automated, which is against the terms. They are. Instagram is, not the users. So, we have no proof, no evidence that we violated any term. And especially all the different examples I gave, in terms of other people nudity, other people, posting much more, other people doing links and remixes and diss tracks and stuff like that, and me not getting any flags. So I don't know, if that stuff, what I'm talking about was wrong, if it was a certain comment or something that was wrong, I don't have anything in front of me that says that, and I can't see that compared to the community terms, or the guidelines. So if someone was, entrepreneurial within Instagram, they would be following the mental pathway that I'm following, which is let's keep these users, let's educate them, let's make a little money. We can take that money, we can reinvest it into our program for a live chat service dealing with these disabled accounts so that we can try to filter through and make sure we are not making mistakes kicking all these people off the platform. Because why are all these minorities kicked off? Why does Adam Mosseri pose with this rainbow? But he's a straight guy. Why is his wife with a BLM sticker? But then why do I have 50 different YouTube videos from black people on YouTube about dealing with disabled or hacked accounts? That seems suspicious to me. Now, maybe the black people are all using the word nigger, and it's flagging the thing, but I'm trying to look at myself. I'm using the word, maybe I use the word push-ups, so I've been reading a blog post or something on there, and it says if you use the word push-ups, it automatically shadow bans you or something on a hashtag on Instagram in 2021. So this stuff is crazy. You know what I mean? So I'm just worried that beyond just like emotionally inflicting stress on all these users for Instagram, I can see all kinds of women, and white women, other people besides the minorities I mentioned too. So, who are responding on Twitter, voicing concerns with disabled, hacked accounts, and I also see on Twitter, but also on YouTube, a lot of people who are having this happen use their real name as their Instagram handle. So again, this goes into these concerns about biometric information. Why do we have to keep taking pictures with different code numbers, which is sort of strange in and of itself. Nowhere in their policy when we sign up for Instagram does it say we have to take pictures with code numbers. That's very strange, very unusual. And Meta and Facebook and other social media companies, no one asks or requests that you do that. So big red flags on that. When I physically went into Menlo Park, I asked the security people about that. I actually showed them on my laptop what it asked me in my photos, and they said, no, you don't have to do that. There's something wrong with that. You don't need to be responding. They have all these case numbers on their thing. You need to respond to someone at Facebook, a real person's name on the email to get through. Otherwise, it's all automated and stuff like that. I don't know whether that's true or not, but that's what I was told by those security representative people who are maybe a third party than Instagram. They're all out. No one's there. You know what I mean? So again, if there isn't the accountability, we can offer some solutions though, like creative, constructive solutions. Why don't you guys have some sort of a little course? It costs $20-$30. You got a user who you allege violated the terms. Show them what they violated. Let them take the 2-hour online course. Pay $20-$30, and you take that money, you reinvest it into your live chat people who will sort of a real human being who will be dealing with these alleged infractions, in terms of actually being a customer service person with the person who's dealing with a disabled account, helping them get their account back, or helping them, take the steps to take this course so that they can get their account back. Because I don't think you want to just be kicking tons of people off the platform, because again, it gets into why are you kicking these people off but not these other people? There seems to be some inconsistencies in how you're enforcing your terms, and there seems to be some bias, some prejudice, some sort of arbitrary things that you're doing. Boy, Daisy Keech's boyfriend, he's got his tighty whiteys and he's like basically naked, and he's linking to his OnlyFans. That's cool, but if I remix an Adele song, you know what I mean, or if I do a diss track against Logan, but Logan can do a diss track against Antonio Brown, and that's great, that's cool. But you know what I mean. So, but someone can't do anything against Logan because Logan, poor baby Logan, right? You know what I mean. So, and I don't know if those are the things, but or the girl can be posing basically naked. Someone comments on her outfit in a supportive way, and some word or something gets flagged. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but I don't think. I don't think that the terms and the guidelines are getting consistently enforced, and I think that is a liability, and that is a huge issue in and of itself. The biometric concern is a huge issue in and of itself as well. You know what I mean? There's multiple lawsuits. They're all successful. I look at this stuff. I see these lawsuits someone filed about Instagram accessing people's iPhone thing and peeping through the iPhone at them. Turning on the video. Terrible stuff. You know what I mean? And I don't have an iPhone, so I don't have to deal with that. Maybe the problem is these guys want to be spying on me or something like that, and they can't do it because of my iPhone, so they're disappointed. So, and maybe I'm not posting tighty whitey pictures like Daisy Keech's boyfriend, so they're disappointed. So those are the things that they really wanted to do when they wanted me on the platform. So I'm not fitting into their box the right way. I don't know, but I know that I am not violating the terms in any way that is, so I really, again, I don't want to pick on these Instagram people. I think it's their automation. I think it's their algorithm. I think it's their AI. And I think they're so big that they don't have the actual real people that address these issues. So I think that it's something that is just sort of reiterating, though, that the frustration's there for the consumer. And I'm one of many other voices. So constructively, I think that there would be an avenue for them to try to create a course, offer a course for a user who they allege did something to a disabled account to get their account back, but then also to try to learn about why they're alleging alleging that they disabled the account so that those behaviors and could be fixed for both the platform and the people who moderate the platform, but then also for the user, so that the user could have more clarity on the expectation by the social media platform and by the people who moderate the social media platform, if it's done by real people and it's not done by bots and automation, and algorithms which are done incorrectly and inconsistently and causing all kinds of real people who are kind of on the come up or who are trying to do, I don't know, I don't know, because I see some big names getting disabled too, and then getting their account, getting their accounts back too. But again, it goes into this theme of the inconsistency of the application of the rules and just the frustration, the struggle. But again, the circling back and looking at it one last time, our data, my photos are on there. I didn't sign away say that when you delete your thing, Adam Mosseri testified in front of the Senate, we can get our stuff when we want it. I've requested myself, and then they said I needed to show them proof of my billing for my phone. I've never had my phone ever connected to my Instagram. I don't have any proof of billing for my phone. I physically went in with my ID and my phone and my laptop to Menlo Park. They're not coming out of the building. They're not there. So, yeah, what I mean? I think that there is a huge liability for them, and I don't think that there is any I don't think there is any excuse. Maybe just because it's the holiday season, but if we're tweeting them, or we're doing all this other stuff, I think that there needs to be some engagement. And I think this is just really stressful for me and frustrating for me. And I'm like I would say that I'm a relatively mature, balanced, and intelligent person. So I'm not like, I just worry that, like, are we losing 100 teen girls every year to suicide because Instagram's bots and automation deactivated their accounts? You know what I mean? Isn't that a terrible concern? But I think it's a valid concern because they're so emotional. Or is there a school shooter going out and shooting because Instagram deactivated their account? You know what I mean? And they weren't allowed, and we weren't able to identify. You know what I mean? And we weren't able to have people outreach or weren't allowed people to communicate back and forth. Why are you censoring? Why are you being so arbitrary and so inconsistent in all your applications of these rules and stuff like that? So I think it's become something where this social media platform is it's not just like a political censorship. Oh, Trump's a bad guy, Biden's great. It's much more really affecting people, individual people. So I think that's frustrating. And I don't have any political posts. You know what I mean? I'm a pretty central guy. You know what I mean? I'm a little liberal, a little conservative. I'm not a Trump worshiper, and I'm not a Biden hater. In other words, as an American. So I don't see, for me personally, what's going on. I've sort of requested that information several times, but larger than just me and my issues, and it's like I haven't worked out for days. I haven't been sleeping. I'm just a mess right now. We're making this video, and I'm making this video not because I'm trying to incite anyone, but because I'm trying to communicate my frustration and issues and be clear and articulate about how I feel like there are solutions, but more importantly, how I'm clear and articulate about how I'm a good citizen. I'm a good artist, and I'm politically active. I'm socially active. I don't feel like anything I did justified any censorship. And I know that millions of other people abuse those community terms in much more obvious and clear ways. So where any slight infraction that I made pales in comparison to what all these other people are doing all the time. So I know for a fact that there's an inconsistency. I know for the fact it's probably automated in bots. And I know for a fact that it's not justified, and it's something that's harmed me, my brand, my image. And, and I can't get my data. I've asked for the data multiple times. Today's the 25th, December 25th, Christmas Day, 2021. And, you know what I mean? Christmas Day, 2021. And I think my account got deactivated on the 11th or 12th. It's been 2 weeks. I physically drove into Menlo Park on the 16th and again on the 21st, I believe, or whatever it was, 2 days, 2 different times there. I talked to people the first time. They didn't have me fill up. The second time I went there, I filled up the thing on their iPad or whatever. It says give it 5 to 7 business days. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't want to. And I've done millions of the picture with the code, or at least half a dozen or more, and never once a response though. So not a response saying, "Oh, we got your picture with the code, but we're not going to be able to activate your account." You know what I mean? Or we got your picture with the code, everything's fine. Nothing. So nothing either way. So that's obviously something. I'm just totally left in the dark here, metaphorically, literally, right? But then also sort of spiritually, and but with regard to this, what's going on. So if I do it again with the picture, because I'm following YouTube videos, again we can't get through. So we take the Facebook ad out. There's no live chat person. So we begin, trying to get them on Twitter. Find these guys' emails on Rocket Reach and putting it on, but it really leaves me in a place, and I don't want to harass, we don't want to harass these people who are supposed, on their Christmas and their holidays on the one hand, but, we use Instagram, a lot of people do is their comms, is their comm channel out to the world and everything else, even if they don't have a lot million followers, right? That doesn't mean that their voice doesn't matter. And you know, that's one of our real concerns here. I think if we don't have a million followers, if I'm not Daisy Keech's boyfriend, a boyfriend of the moment, or if I'm not, you know, Paige Hathaway's boyfriend of the moment, I guess there's a different rule for me. You know what I mean? Than those guys. And I think a lot of women have these concerns and issues too. So, you know, but they're just not enforcing their rules in any shape or form for other people. So the inconsistency and the bias. But you know, it just comes back to nothing in the policy says we have to take a picture with the code. We're doing that a bunch. There's no effort on their part to try to have any real humans do this. This is an ongoing problem for years. You can look back on YouTube videos for many other people, not for me for years. I have had my account for 4 years and I have never had this problem. So I'm just saying, in the bigger scheme of things, researching and trying to fix my problem, I can see millions of other people are having the same problem and have had this problem for years with Instagram. So, you know, there needs to be a solution, I think. And I think my suggestion is very reasonable, rational, diplomatic, constructive. And I'm voicing it again here. I also voiced it on Twitter, but I think they should have that sort of a course. They should have a real person. The course should be, they should charge people 20, 30 bucks. You know, it should be probably for accounts that care enough to pay 20 or 30 bucks, which I know I would, to get back on Instagram. And they should, you know, clearly show what they were alleging were the violations. You know, they should have to point out those posts and you know, objectively, and I think objectively those posts better be violations too. Because the problem, you know, that I'm running into is I don't know what's happening. Maybe it's the automation of the algorithm, but I don't see any evidence to support the fact my violations, and I know many other voices I've heard by looking at those YouTube videos, you know, are actual violations. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about inconsistencies or being relative. I'm just talking about flat out. I know they're not violations. So, you know what I mean? So, and we're talking figures of speech and terms and blah blah blah. But you know what I'm trying to say? Circling back, like the push-ups hashtag is censored, makes you shadow banned or something like that in the algorithm. So, you know, a constructive solution: take the course, offer a course, and have a real person make the money from the course and use that money for salaries for people who are the real people who deal with, you know, people who are having disabled accounts, and who sort of guide them through that process, and who can have not be automated, not be an algorithm, not be a bot, have a real set of eyes look at this and be like, oh wow, this person didn't really do anything. That's a very subjective and biased, and oh, the algorithm just flagged these words, or you know, this was a mistake, or it looks like they got hacked, it looked like someone else was on their account because they've been good for 4 years and all of a sudden they're doing something that doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? So just to have that rational baby step towards accountability, because if this platform is so big and they're so great and they want to all of a sudden do NFTs and they're becoming Snapchat and TikTok with reels at the same time, I think a lot of people don't even want that. A lot of people just want you know, like more of a human or real interaction on the platform, because the platform's just gone. I mean, I think it's gone to shit. I mean, no offense, but I think everything's so fake on that thing. And I just like posting my pictures, and I just want a copy of all my pictures back. I don't want to just stress over this anymore, because I don't have those pictures anywhere else. And you know, I spent all that time before a couple of years taking a nice little picture. Plus, I just put the posts up. I did some writing on there too, like creative writing, just kind of like my diary, my journal. You know what I mean? I got links to a bunch of songs for all those years. You know what I mean? My videos and stuff, and it's sort of chronological. It's something that I, you know, spiritually I've invested in, time I've invested in. I think you know, 4,812 posts. So it's not like I'm losing like 30 posts, or it's not like I'm a business account and they're all, you know, it's not like I'm making money off it either. So it's not like I'm someone who posted a new picture of a chick next to me and just did it for the effect. None of my content is like that. You know what I mean? So I'm like the goody two shoes. I'm not the goody two shoes, but I, you know, because again, I mentioned the issues with the Iditarod and the hashtag of Iditarod and blah, 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 you know, maybe because the Logan Paul diss track or remixing the Adele song. I've done all kinds of stuff like that. I've remixed the Jewel Kilter song. I've remixed Skylar Grey songs, you know, with using their voices as the chorus and me rapping the verses. So, you know, for years I've remixed other people's music. Primarily I don't do that, but I have done that here and there, and I haven't had any problems. So the Logan Paul thing, maybe Logan Paul had a problem, and I don't know, you know what I mean? But without any communication, without a real person on behalf of their company, I think that there is a liability on them. I don't think, you know, there's not an arbitration agreement that says, there's not a policy agreement that says anywhere, we're going to take a picture with the code and send it 10 times, you're not going to do anything, and we're going to give you all our biometric data for your crypto schemes and stuff like that. I mean, no offense, I can see through this shit. I mean, like, that's really strange holding a picture and doing the code, you know, and if you're not having any sort of a response, you do it, everyone's running into these things where they're not getting a response, then you need to change your fucking thing so that people aren't getting told to send the picture with the code, because, you know, that's not helping anything. In my opinion, I think that it would be a rational, it would be a rational thing to change your system. You have a systemic flaw and failure there if that's how you're trying to verify people, and it looks like it's a big phishing scheme though, where they're just trying to get as much information from the people who really have their Instagram handles is their actual names. So then they're trying to get the photograph, the biometric, the facial recognition, and then they're trying to get the driver's license, and then they're trying to get additionally uh, as much email, try to get a credit card from you, try to get you on their Facebook ads, so they can get your credit card information, and then all of a sudden, look, they've got everything they can from you. Plus, they've got you paying them all of a sudden. So you pay them $7. Well, if 100 other people pay them $7 to try to get an ad to get their account undisabled, they get 700. If it's 1,000 people, it's 7,000. Chances are maybe they're gonna take another ad out. You got them hooked like cigarettes on taking ads out for Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. So it's it's a career killer, in this day and age. And I think that goes back to that Senate hearing with Adam Mosseri. People have an almost like a societal obligation to be on these social media platforms, to have a presence, to try to be, to be articulate, to be diplomatic, to be appealing. You know what I mean? And it's something where it's a societal pressure. It's like having a car. You know what I mean? You almost need that's why I think my analogy and my suggestion for a solution of using the multiple choice, the course, and the test to try to give people a chance to learn the thing and get back on the account with having their account disabled is a good analogy, and it's a good parallel, because it's like there's a societal pressure to have a car in America, period. You know what I mean? To be able to function, whereas years ago, Indians had a horse or the horse and buggies. So but right now there is a societal pressure to be on Instagram, is my point, or to be on Facebook and to be present and to be able to be there for outreach, even if you're the guy working at the gas station, if you're the U.S. senator, or if you're the guy with the startup idea, sort of like my adventure race, or if you're the aspiring artist. You know what I mean? To be there, to be able to do your outreach there, and to be hustling there, and to be taking the photo and to be present there, so people can reach out to you there, and you can be, you know what I mean, and you can just work on your own image and your own business and your own brand, and everyone should have that right, I think. You know what I mean? So I don't think some people should get censored off due to the bias or prejudice of someone working at this big tech company, or the bias and prejudice of just some random algorithm thing. So it's very, you know what I mean? I think that the regulation of big tech is a huge issue, and that might be separate, but also related to my issue as the little guy, who's got my account disabled and is just trying to get back on there. In other words, but I think I just want my account back, and that's pretty much it.